So Alex Hormozi broke the record for selling more non-fiction books than anyone in 24 hours, and he made approximately $81 million from one webinar. But Linda, what does that mean for us mere mortals? And that's what we're going to talk about today, how we can learn from that and take some real examples and implement them into our own businesses. And by the way, it's good to have you back.
Thanks, Mopes. It's nice to be back. Feels like we haven't done this for a little
She
while.
has to say that. She's paid to say that. But no,
I've been enjoying the European sun for a month and home to beautiful rainy weather, but it's actually nice to be back. It's good
nice
to be here.
back. So we'll get straight into it, Linda. So whilst you're away, actually, Alex Hormozi launched his new book. And if you're familiar with the $100 million series, he had $100 million offers and then $100 million leads. One was about how do you craft a really good offer. And one was how you actually get leads. And the leads one was about like advertising, sure, but also like getting referrals and cold calling. Like it actually goes into a little bit of detail, and two very, very good books. And definitely one of the philosophies that we implement for a lot of our clients at Red Pandas. We're big fans of Alex Hormozi. But this was like, I was talking to you about this before, Linda, like it's not black hat, but it's also like a little bit questionable, right? Like as a side note, because so what he did was he got everyone onto the webinar. And the whole thing, it was like a 7-hour webinar. For me, it was 2 a.m. I stayed up until 7 a.m., 5 hours. I felt like I almost got bait and switched because the calendar invite had 2 hours, right?
Did
it?
Yeah. Okay,
The calendar invite I got was for 2 hours, but I was up for 5 hours. And in that webinar, like what he sort of said, and I guess this is the first lesson before I kind of go down my rant a little bit. But the first lesson was he promised giveaways for people who attend only. He goes, well, I've got this webinar, and he has this ascension thing that I think even if listeners and businesses take one, like he's got this crazy ascension or succession ladder, like he's the upsell king. If you take even one thing that he does from his succession or upsell ladder, whatever you want to call it, you're going to make a lot of money. And the first one was this. First one was like, okay, cool. We are running this webinar to launch the book. And if you attend, there's going to be some freebies for everyone, but only if you attend. Now, bringing it back to mere mortal land for a second, is one of the things that we've been practicing, Linda, is when we have webinars, sort of saying the replays are only available if you attend.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that and why we do that?
Jesus, good question, Mopes. You might need to prompt me on this one.
I'm putting you on the spot
Why do we do that? Yeah. Number one, to make sure that people rock up, right? We want to make sure that people actually attending the webinar. God, help me out here. What else?
No, that's just the putting Linda on the spotlight first day back. No, but honestly, like that is literally why we do it, because think about it, right? I'm sure, like if you're listening to this, think about how many webinars you've signed up for and then how many you attended, right? And then how many of those that you didn't attend, you watched the replay. Now, maybe you are a special specimen who actually watches a lot of replays, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
There was one year we ran like a webinar every month, and we found that people would often say, will this be recorded? Will the replay be available? I'm not going to be able to attend. And then they wouldn't watch it because we have the data. We're sending it out of HubSpot. So people just don't. For the most part, mainly people don't. And the amount of webinars I've signed on for because the replay was available, but then didn't watch the replay, outnumbers the ones I did actually, maybe 100 to 1.
Yeah.
So he was really, really aware of that. So he's like, I've got these giveaways, but only if you attend. So I think that is the first thing. And the low way to do that, hey, replay available only if you attend. Or goodies available. One of the things that we do a lot when we do our keynotes is when I do a webinar, and we do this for all the webinars at Red Pandas now, at the end, I'll have a QR code. And normally people will say things like, hey, download the slides. But we actually go beyond that. We'll say, it takes you to a Notion board normally.
Yeah.
And you can download the slides. I'll always have like an extra resource or a guide or a template.
Do you remember how Hormozi managed that in his webinar that you went to?
Yeah.
I'm curious to know.
He just sent the email. Like he launched it on I think people would have got it anyway, to be honest. Because
I wonder how he managed that on such a large scale.
The link that I got, because his webinar was so big, they did it on YouTube actually, they launched it on YouTube, the webinar, like as a live premiere event, whatever.
Yeah.
And to be honest, YouTube's probably like the only thing that could have handled that. I think at one point he had 150,000 people tuning in.
Wow. Yeah.
And then he did it again the next day. So, but I guess the way to do it, I do believe they use HubSpot. I'm pretty sure Alex Hormozi uses HubSpot. And what you can actually do from a mechanics point of view is if someone clicks on the link when it's time to go live, then you can actually put them on a list, and only to that list you could send them stuff.
Okay.
But that's why I think he sent it to everyone, because his database is so big. They sent so many emails.
Yeah.
So for them to have all these rules, it would have been almost impossible to manage.
Yeah.
So it would have been so much easier. We just send it to everyone.
And he gives away so much free stuff anyway. I'm sure at some point it would have all lived on the internet anyway.
He doesn't care about that. He's caring about the scarcity factor. So when we do it, we'll often send people to, a page where it's like, okay, download all this stuff. And we normally ungate it. And then we say, if you want to contact someone, do this. Now, the last time I did an event, I actually did it a little bit differently. Like our business coach, shout out Wasif, made a recommendation. He's like, put a form on it, but have an option for people to contact you. So I actually had a form this time. I just wanted to test it, right? Like, just let's see how we go. Like, just normally I just put it out there, but I'm like, maybe we've overcorrected a little bit. Yeah. Let's actually, I also am a big believer of making the ask. So let's put a form up there, but make it very clear they're not going to be contacted. Yeah. So what I did was I had a QR code. This was the NDIS event I did. The form comes up and it says, click here to download, no obligation, won't hassle you, your copy right away, right? Or get access to your goodies. Then it's a staged form, and you can do this with HubSpot. You can do this with JotForm and maybe other good form builders, where it's not the whole form. It just shows you 2 fields, and you click on next. And then it says, do you want people to contact you? And then if you say no, it says no worries, here you go. If it says yes, then the next screen, give us your name, give your email address.
Which is a nice balance, I think.
I spoke to a group, I think it was about 50 people. I had 17 people fill out the form and 11 people said contact me. Wow. So it was a really, really good test and conversion rate. So I'm pretty happy with that. So back to Hormozi, right? So he had upsells from the very get-go. I don't know whether most businesses can do this, but the other thing he said was pay $99 extra. Or no, maybe it was less. Maybe it was like $30 or $40. It was a small amount, but still revenue. Yeah. Where you get VIP access. And what's VIP access? Like, okay, well, VIP access, you have a separate room, a separate chat, away from the quote unquote riffraff, and early access to. Oh, sorry. It was also this. You get the book. Yeah. Right. So you actually sign up as a VIP. You get a book shipped on the day, priority shipping. Yeah. And you'll get access. Now, the VIP chat was just a different YouTube link. Yeah. Which is really interesting, because that's why you're there to start with, or why most people are there for the book. But the book is actually the smallest upsell that he has on the day, right? Yeah. The book was never even spoken about. Yeah. Right? Like, I guess how I got to the book, but the contents of the book wasn't really spoken about, apart from a high level theory point of view. So yeah, so you pay $30 or whatever it is, which is the same price as the book. It's like, look, if you're going to buy the book anyway, buy the VIP. Yeah. Because what he's doing is like, he is getting the commitment. Yeah. Right. If you're going to do it anyway, do it now. You get early access and you get priority access to the stream. The stream, again, was just another YouTube link. I opened up both. It was the same thing. There's tens and thousands of people chatting. There's no conversation really happening. Like, it's just whatever, right? But great upsell and really good way to get the commitment first. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the other way to sort of think about things, like, prioritizing and whatever. Then once you're in, the whole thing, and we've got plenty more lessons, so don't worry. The whole thing was actually about buying the 200 book offer. So the whole thing, the whole 7 hours or however long, the whole thing was like, buy 200 books and you're going to get all these bonuses. But it wasn't about the books. It was actually all about the bonuses. The books were just like, even though it was like buy 200 books and get all this stuff, which I'm going to go over in a second, it really was the other way around. You're paying for all the stuff and the 200 books was a byproduct. And that's how he broke the world record. Yeah. So again, it's not, honestly, I take my hat off. I have so much respect for how Alex Hormozi, I'm not throwing shade actually, but I'm saying, I wish I was smart enough to come up with that or had the reach to do that. Yeah. But it's grey hat, because like those 2 million books, they're book sales, but they're not book sales, Linda. Yeah. They're like literally codes. They're coupon codes. It's like, okay, buy this 200 books. We'll give you the book for free. You'll get 200 codes that you can redeem, and you just have to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
But how many of those people actually bought books to read?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's so crazy the language and how he reframed purchasing a book to donate 200 books. Like that in itself is its own lesson, isn't it? Because he's turning people into firstly it's becoming a bigger cause, so it's not just about buying a book and a book launch. It's now you're donating 200 books to other people, so it's tying something to a bigger mission, which is really cool. But then in the end of the day, he's also turned everybody into a marketer, because from what I was seeing, everyone's tweets and the way that they're talking on LinkedIn, like they're creating their own
funnels.
Yeah, they're creating their own funnels off his book launch. It's so incredible.
It's evil genius.
Yeah.
Like what Linda's talking about, we saw all these tweets, all these influencers and not influencers saying, hey, I've got 200 codes. I'm giving them away.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is fill out this form.
Yeah.
So.
And they're creating their own bespoke landing pages off the back of this campaign and then nurturing.
For free.
Yeah, for free.
For free. So here you are, you're paying people wages and agencies money to create landing pages, and he's doing it for free.
Yeah.
Right? Just to kind of give something away. That's very hard for people to replicate. Very, very hard. But there is obviously a lesson there of like affiliate marketing and can you work with partners to share your stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And then here's the thing, right? So let's go back to, there's so many levels to this. I'll go back to the bundle in a second because I think it's quite interesting. But the giveaways for people who rocked up, because there's also lessons in repurposing here that is one of the biggest mistakes we see clients and businesses make. They don't repurpose enough. So if you rocked up, which I think everyone got anyway, if you signed up to for the webinar, you'd get the audiobook for free. You'd get an 8-hour course for free. You'd get Lost Chapters book for free, which were extra chapters he said he had created whilst he was making, all 3 books. And then 3 months access to school. So many levels here. Now, the audiobook and the course, they're just versions of the same thing.
Yeah.
We've been guilty of this. We've done a webinar and then not done anything with the webinar.
Yeah.
Like we've sent it and we've created snippets maybe, but that's it. But that webinar can be turned into a course. Every webinar you've ever done for anyone could literally be turned into a course. You could, if you wanted to, you could turn it into an audiobook if you think the content's good enough. You could turn it into an audiobook. You could turn it into a blog post. There's a lot you could actually turn that into. You could turn it into a podcast as well, where you literally just talk about it. But normally businesses don't do that. They just quickly move off. So repurpose the audiobook, 8-hour course. It's the same content. He had additional content as well. That's something I did start doing actually when I did my last keynote. I noticed there was like a lot of content I couldn't fit in. Yeah. And as a presenter, I realized, and I know you've seen this too, Linda, yourself, is one big mistake I see a lot of presenters do, to be honest, Alex did this, I will say that, is they cram too much in.
Yeah.
They cram too much in, right? Like, oh, I need to make sure people have value, and we're really you're paranoid. Oh, I want to just make sure they get value, and I'm going to talk about these 4 concepts. Maybe you can talk about one concept. Yeah. And then you cram. And I've had this, and I used to get feedback from people. Yeah. And not so much anymore, but I used to get feedback that it was really good content, but it was a lot of content.
There was too much. Yeah. It's something that it's really interesting, isn't it? Because I remember even when we did our conference, and I had the keynote on AI, and I had to really focus on getting rid of all of the extras, even though I really wanted to add all in there because there was so much content. And you're right, you don't do anything with all that extra gold that's so valuable. You just cut it, and then you don't see it again. And there's all this information that could be really helpful for the people that had received that, because it's advanced. It's almost the next step after the basics that you teach. And it's so much gold that you can still use and repurpose. So
here's a thing that everyone can do. And that's why I wanted to make this. I've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of case studies on how the launch was great, and people will be talking about it in marketing case studies for decades. And I do believe that will happen. Yeah. But what about us, right? What about us, me models, not Alex Hormozi? You're absolutely right. That's what we can do. Yeah. So when I did my NDIS key, I had so much left over, and I was like, it's such a shame. I worked so hard, and I had this whole framework. Like it was about, using better outcomes for NDIS participants, using CRMs, whatever. And then during the course of that, I came up with a framework. There's like the 6 Ps of something. I can't remember what it was. And I'm like, I can't fit it. Like I can try, and old me would have tried, but I know it's just going to be pushing something in to push something out.
Yeah.
So instead, what I did was I created a blog post with those 6, and then I made it part of my goodies. So that's what you can do. You can actually, I highly recommend that you do this if you have a webinar.
Yeah.
Replay available for attendees only, limited time, and make the replay only available for 24 hours or 48 hours or a week. Extra bonus content, exclusive content for attendees only, i.e. lost chapters.
Yeah.
Right? And you can repurpose some of that as well.
It's interesting because the giveaways that he put in there, it really cost him little, but it adds so much to the perceived value. It looks really attractive.
The main part is doing the first thing.
Yeah.
It's very little value. You can pay someone else to do it actually.
Yeah.
To actually create it to something else. Now here, I think, before I go off what the giveaways were, that's why there's so many levels to this.
Yeah.
What was evil genius, right? But like hats off, evil genius. For people who so-called signed, watch the webinar, which I think everyone got anyway, is you got 3 months access to School for free. School, SKOOL, is his online platform where you can build your own communities. You can do courses, and it's like opt-in. It's like the legal OnlyFans. You know what I mean? So people can pay a subscription per month. They get exclusive content, courses, videos, whatever you want, right? Membership, whatever. So that's how you should sell it, actually.
Legal OnlyFans.
It's pretty cool. And like a lot of small community course builders and stuff, like they not just course builders, community entrepreneurs make a lot of money from it.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty successful platform. So he's saying 3 months free. So he's getting you to try his solution. He's saying like, I'm going to put, and now he did this quite ethically. He goes, I've got my goodies also available on the website, but I'm also going to house them in School for you, which it's like, okay, cool. They're all there now. I can just go get them there.
Yeah.
And you're going to get 3 months to use the platform. Then after 3 months, instead of paying $99 per month, you get to pay $9 per month.
Oh, okay.
So it's a feeder into his funnel.
Yeah. Smart.
Right?
Yeah.
And all the people that are kind of doing this and getting into this, he has all the access, all the email addresses. So whichever way you came, whichever upsell you came through or not, he now has your email address and he's going to market the crap out of you.
Yeah.
So evil genius.
I'm really excited to see what the nurturing stream looks like through you, to be honest, Mopes.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I will say too, like I do think my criticism of this is the thing. It doesn't matter. Who am I to actually say, Alex, you did such a crap job. Like he's such a successful entrepreneur. I guess I'm looking at this from like a speaker point of view.
Right.
The speaking component, the keynote part wasn't good or optimal because he was just reading off slides and he was smashing through it. There was a lot.
Right.
And even people in the chat were like, it's really hard to keep up. Like, okay, what are we getting for free again? And then, okay, cool. What's the upsell offer? And then like everything, one thing that was clear, and this is what he did very right, and that's all he cared about, was communicating the 6K bundle. He must have reminded, and this is a really good
that
reminder.
Was the main offer.
That's the main, forget about, he wasn't there to sell a book.
Yeah.
It was the 6K bundle. Everything was about the 6K bundle. And he must have reminded people 20 times. No joke, Linda.
Yeah, wow.
And every guest that he had guests that come on and he was like, yeah, cool. What, Larry's talking about, this is in this bundle. This is in this bundle.
Which is so crazy because he's still, he's made the Guinness Book of World Records, right? But this, as you said, it's a lesson that people will talk about for years to come. But it's really interesting because if you go to a webinar and someone tries to sell you that much, you'll say that's the worst webinar you've ever been to in your life. But because he's spent so much time nurturing and building so much trust with his community over all these years, he gets away with doing that, which is crazy. Because even for us, when we run webinars, we try not to do much selling. And we'll openly vanguard sometimes and say, we will sell you, but it'll be right at the end. It's not going to take, it'll be a 2-minute thing.
It is. I 100% agree with you. And there's definitely something to be said about giving. And then it's like Gary Vee talks about jab, 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 right hook, right? Value, value. And there's a lot to be said there. What we have done a few times is, and we have to make sure there's value. Doesn't matter what type of event we do. People have to walk away with value. That's just the way we're built. But actually, like the last couple of webinars, if you think about it, Linda, like we actually, not that we overcorrected now, we had overcorrected before. Like a friend of mine actually gave me a lot of honest advice, direct, like is one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe you're a great educator from stage, but you don't know how to sell from stage.
Interesting.
And at the end of the day, you're in the business of selling and growing your business. It was a real gut punch, and it really bruised my ego for about a minute because I've been speaking for years. I've spoken in 4 different countries. I thought I'm this great international speaker, but am I doing it just to speak, or am I also doing it to grow the business? I'm doing it for both.
Yeah.
And what the reality he made me realize is I actually don't sell from stage very well. So we've learned like a lot of stuff from Alex and also Russell Brunson. He talks about expert secrets. He has a formula on how you should run a webinar. Yeah. And we have started selling now, right? In certain webinars, depends where we are. Depends like if we're guest speakers somewhere, and like we depends on like if it's our own webinars, we sold the AI course as well, where we had a bit of an ascension model. We're like, look, this is what we did a value ladder or value stack. You'll get this and this and this and this and this for the low price of this. This is all of that. And this is the other lesson too that I learned from Russell Brunson and Alex. Alex said that all the giveaways he had was, he said his course was worth something like 70 grand or something, right? Yeah. Like the bonuses you got just for rocking up. Let's just be conservative. Say he said it was worth 50 grand, but knowing Alex, it was a little more than that. Is it really worth 50 grand? Maybe, but who's to say it is or it isn't? So you can say that yourself. And the last webinar we did, it's like, so we did this webinar on AI and then we sold the AI course that Luca did. And we had all these bonuses. And one of the bonuses was a keynote. I think one of the keynotes you did, Linda, we actually included that as a bonus. Yeah. Why not? It's a valuable piece of content. We already did it. Why shouldn't we offer it? Yeah. And then why shouldn't we place a financial value to that? And we sort of, you have to make some sort of guesstimate. We're like, okay, cool. Well, the tickets to the event were $250. That keynote we can say is worth $250 or $200, right? Yeah. You get that value for free. Why not? Like, who's to say it is or it isn't? Right? So we did that. We did the value stack. You'll get Linda's keynote. You get all these different templates and stuff that we already have, but businesses don't think hard enough. Right?
That's true.
We've got one of our amazing clients, ConnectOS, right? Shout out to Steve and ConnectOS. It's a service business. I want to pick a hard example on purpose, right? We're like, oh, well, how could we do that? Well, you could. You could be like, well, you'll get the onboarding. You'll also get our onboarding guide. This is a guide we've developed in-house for our own people. And we're going to give it for free. It's a PDF. It's a resource for free, valued at $2,000. Who's to say that's not worth $2,000? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And you're also going to get this and this and this. And by the way, what we're going to do is the little onboarding that we do with clients, we're going to turn that into a course and offer that as a course. And that course is worth $1,000. Why not? Why not, right? This is what Alex is really, really good at. And he's not the first. He took Russell Brunson's work. He was a student of Russell Brunson's and he took it to another level. And so he should.
And you think that serves the primary reason just to make it more attractive? Putting a dollar figure to it?
If it doesn't have a dollar figure to it, unfortunately, people are monetarily driven. They won't see as much value on it. Yeah. So there is one, you could be very skeptical and be like, oh, you're just ripping people off. Well, no, we're not talking about giving them crappy content. It's good content. Yeah. Right? Like we've got a guide, right? We've got a guide on how to hire a content trainer, right? That we helped and we developed, and our friends at Impact developed it. Then we put our own flavor to it and we developed it. How to hire a content marketer. Sorry, not a content trainer, content writer.
Okay, yep.
What's the cost of that? It's very hard to figure that out. Well, I'll tell you what the cost of getting it wrong is. You'll hire someone for 80 grand. You'll maybe make the wrong hire. You'll pay them for 3 months. Yeah. That'll cost you 20 grand. It will cost you 10, 20 grand in hiring fees. You can make a $40,000, $50,000 mistake by hiring the wrong person. So if we say that guide is worth 5 years of our time and it's worth $10,000 or $5,000, who's to say it's not?
Yeah, fair. I understand it. It makes a lot of sense. It makes it a lot more attractive.
And it just helps. Like you can't be like, oh, it's worth $1 million, right? There has to be some reason, the rationale. But come up with the reason, the rationale. No one's to say, there's not.
Good lesson. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know if there's any there's probably a lot to kind of go through. I will sort of say like the $5,000 or $6,000 bundle. Yeah. Which is about $10,000 Australian. It was 200 books. plus all this stuff, but it wasn't about the books.
Yeah.
It was about the other stuff. He had these 12 playbooks in a premium binder, hard copy.
Yeah.
And it's also very smart too, because this is another lesson. He chose not to have these digital because the moment one person buys it, it's on the internet the next minute.
Yeah, true. Right.
So he made a high barrier to copy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not copyright. It is. I mean, you can say it's copyright. People will still copy it. But if it's digital, you know, like the
100%.
Lost Chapter was digital.
Oh,
People
yeah.
can share that. No worries. He
Yeah.
doesn't care, right? But that's very, very hard. Who's going to go to the effort? Like someone will, but there's a big barrier to do that. And it was about closing. So it wasn't just about, you know, sales and leads. It was like closing, proof checklist, retention checklist, marketing machine, lifetime value, a hooks playbook, a branding playbook, price raise playbook, how to raise your prices, promo cash playbook, the best ads ever playbook, lead nurturing playbook, and more, right? As I'm reading it, I'm like thinking, this is me like sleep deprived movie at 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, where's my Amex? I got to buy this. But then I realized, you know what? How stupid am I? The book hasn't even landed yet. Like no one's even read the book yet.
But Mobes, if you're thinking that, imagine all the people that actually did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think someone estimated that he made $81 million worth of sales that day. So here's the thing as well, right? Like my personal lesson was I already got upsold on some stuff. I paid $1,500 for a couple of playbooks. I'm like, let me get those playbooks. Let me read the book, learn a lesson or two.
Yeah.
And then think about something else. It's not even about the offer. It's not even about the fact the price will go up. For me, and I think this is probably just a general lesson, nothing to do with Alex Hormozi. It's about focus. Like, what do you have time to do? Like, it's not about not doing it. Like, I am going to read that book and we're going to implement it just like we've done other stuff. But let us do that first.
Yeah.
Then I'm happy to pay more. I'm happy to pay double for when I need it.
Yeah.
You know?
He really did do a great job at creating urgency behind this, didn't he? Because you just said the offer will go up after the webinar, right? It was a one-time, one and done, which is interesting because even at the most basic level, we still see customers or our clients struggle to create urgency behind offers and come up with offers.
They get shy. Yeah.
Yeah. But you see this on such a big scale and I look at our clients and think, okay, because we're talking about something that's so big and systematic and there's so many lessons here, but even if we just bring it down to basics, thinking about basic urgency behind everyday campaigns that you're running, our clients don't do enough of that, but it's such a big lesson, isn't it? Because even if someone like you is going to pull out the Amex and buy this big system that he's selling, imagine all the missed opportunities that everyday businesses are having by not choosing to run offers that are attractive and also scarce at the same time.
It's like I think people get a bit shy and they don't want to like, but here's the thing, you know, there's a theory of reciprocity. Like if your content is really good, that's one thing. They're going to get value anyway. I know when we did we did 2 webinars to promote the course, Luca's AI content course. And I was watching the numbers too. Like those were some of our big, we weren't getting thousands, right? I think we had like 100 people or something. For us, that's a big webinar. For B2B, it's not bad, you know? And I noticed, I was looking at the numbers when we started selling.
Right.
And only about 10% dropped off. And I was like, okay. I was like, my heart was like, I was watching, right? Because I had Luca talking about it, like, hey, this is what we're going to do and stuff. And this is why we've crafted this. And here's a special offer for people here today. And I was looking at the numbers and it only fell off a little bit. And I'm like, look, that's okay. That's completely fine. Because at the end of the day, it's about a win-win situation. We're all in business, right? We're not running charities here. Maybe some of us are. And for those, you know, like even there, you're trying to get something in return. Yeah. You're trying to give someone the value of giving back to someone.
But you know what? You're right. I think when the content is so good and it's so relevant to the people that are there, they will stick around because it actually is beneficial. And although you're selling, it's not really selling when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because I remember this quote in one of Hormozi's books, which was give away the secrets, sell the implementation. And that's exactly what we did in that webinar. We gave away all our secrets when it comes to AI. It was so valuable, the content. Like we were selling the implementation of that when you think about it. So it was so relevant to them. It makes sense why they didn't drop off.
Or you're selling, like you're giving away a step and they'll get value if they implement it, but then there's another step they can pay for.
Or helping them with a micro problem, which then leads to a bigger macro problem that you can help them with. Yeah.
Exactly. And the last thing I'll say, and then we can wrap up from here, is the nurturing side. So once he had that offer, he had that limited time offer, it's obvious, to send an email, but he had like multiple things running. They spent $4 million worth of ads for this. So yes, he did a lot of trust and he has that trust, but also he wasn't going to hit this number just from his community. He had to go really broad. So he spent a lot of money, right? But it's not about the money that's the lesson. It's the how he spent it. So there's getting people there, but also using webinar, and I don't think people do this enough, using ads to people who attended the webinar. So you do that, he sells you this offer, he reminds you of the offer, he has a limited time offer. And then what he does, and I think he had like he had 2 levels of scarcity. One, he had a bonus thing if you signed up during the webinar.
Yeah.
And then once the webinar was over, it was gone. And to be honest, it was the playbook on how he did the webinar, which I don't know anyone who can implement that. Like, it's just crazy. And then the second thing was, I'm going to give you 2 days to get the offer.
Right.
So it was a thing there. So he had follow-up emails. He had like emails like every day, or like 2 emails and then 1 email. So there's that. And I think that's a good reminder just to don't just do one, do a couple of reminders. And then he had branding ads on, remarketing ads on Instagram, on Meta, that were like, hey, time's running out, here's what you're going to get.
Wow.
So I thought that was really, really good. But really good textbook marketers will be talking about this for years and years and years, how to use his launch to upsell, cross-sell, succession ladder, or what is it, like the ladder, like value stacking and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mobes, what's your biggest lesson, would you say, from this?
Biggest lesson to like implement, or like as a case study?
Either or. Yeah, I think just watching him do his thing.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest lesson is that you got out of it?
I think from a business point of view, like I took away 2 action items, and I'm going to try to remember the second one. But the first one was upsell opportunities. So what we do at the end of projects, we actually have like a consulting call where we go over, give them a little bit of extra value. Like, here's everything we've learned, here's everything we promised, and here's everything we've learned. Here are some recommendations, and a lot of them they can do by themselves, not us. But here's also stuff we can do together. Yeah. And we call it a project close call. And that's an opportunity to upsell and cross-sell. It's really good. He actually has milestone upsells and cross-sells. He upsells and he does it throughout. He does it at a 50% point. He does it at the end like we do. He does it at the start. So I'm like, okay, there's more.
Yeah.
And then also add-ons. The value of add-ons is so underrated. For people think product businesses, I would say especially service businesses. Forget products. Everyone's like, yeah, cool, you can buy a bow tie with a suit, whatever, right? That's basic, right?
Yeah.
Especially service businesses, if I'm honest, right? Even like, like solar, any business can do this. So for example, we'll do an onboarding for HubSpot. We used to do sales coaching. We don't really do it so much anymore, but we have all that content. Why can't we turn that into a course and offer that as a $5,000 optional upsell?
Yeah.
Right. Normally we're in a B2B scenario. Normally what happens is by the time you send the quote, actually depends on the industry, but by the time you send a quote or proposal, you already know that they're relatively interested, right? And there's probably like more than 50% chance. That's how I do my sales anyway. I'm not sending a proposal unless like I've spoken to them, we've done a solution design presentation, like, yeah, look, it's looking good. Well, maybe we'll go ahead. Maybe we'll go ahead. We're comparing you to 2-3 others. No worries. At that stage, right? It's way more than 50%. It's probably more like 70%. But anyway, send that through. So you've got your solution design, like, okay, maybe I'm going to say an arbitrary number, $10,000 for something. Why? It doesn't hurt to have like here's an upsell.
Yeah.
Like here's a add-on that is discounted if you buy this today.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
So for me, it was those upsell opportunities at proposal stage, and then also like having milestone-based cross-sell opportunities. I mean, apart from that, I just think from the lesson from Alex is like building that buzz. I mean, there's honestly too many there. There's so many there. But
I
like
think
literally having that succession ladder.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then giving stuff away, like stuff that I like stuff that everyone can do, right? And that is, you can actually offer a lot more for people who attend, and then you can have offers to extend when people actually buy from you. I think that's something everyone should be doing more of.
Yeah, I think I can't get past the virality, to be honest. I think that's really cool because a lot of people, when you just talk about viral content, if you will, a lot of people will chase viral content, but it's never tied to revenue, right? They think viral content will make them money, but he's reverse engineered it in a way. Like he's gotten the sale first and then turned it viral.
Yeah.
Because people are becoming marketers and promoting his content once they've bought. So it's just, I love that.
And I still think other businesses can do it too. I think B2B can do it too. Not at that scale, but you can always give something. You're right. It's not viral content. It's like viral product selling.
Viral selling.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like viral selling. Like you can give stuff away where you actually, like I'll just use a random example. Like our friends at AM Visuals, right? Say I'm not asking you guys to do this, but like say you have, video package. It's like, okay, cool. What we're going to do is you're going to get $5,000 worth of credits that any of your friends can use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might say, okay, cool. Here's an offer. Here's like a 20%, like if you discount if you buy again from us within the next 3 months.
Yeah.
This works really well if you're a product-based business or you have like one-time based project stuff. And as a thank you, because we really like working with people like you and we specialize in your industry, we're going to give you $5,000.
Such a good example.
Or $5,000 vouchers for your friends in the industry.
I think AM Visual should do that.
Yeah, and then I'll be expecting my cut. But anyway, on that note, we'll end it there. Linda, thank you so much. We missed you a lot, and I'm sure our listeners have as well. We'll join everyone again for another episode of InboundBuzz.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to InboundBuzz. Learn anything? Return the favor by spreading the word. Want to make your mark in digital? Need help with your digital strategy, inbound, and marketing automation efforts? Then visit redpandas.com.au and be sure to tune in next time for another InboundBuzz hit.